Hope you enjoyed that little intro there. The weather today in the UK is absolutely amazing. Apologise for the footage, it was done on my iPhone and some of it came out, well, not as good as I'd like it to be because I don't really like using my DSLR in public, it's just too big. Hopefully you still enjoyed it anyway. So I picked up 4 vinyls from the shop and I didn't listen to any of them, I bought them all blind. And a lot of people always ask, how do you kind of pick the vinyls that you want to use? Purely just on the covers. I just look at the covers and see if they look interesting, and sort of from buying previous vinyls as well, I kind of have an idea of what's going to sound good, but I'm not really one of those people that knows about record labels and what labels to look for and stuff like that. I literally have no idea. I just pick covers that I like generally. So these were the 4 that I got. Evita with some opera stuff and kind of like a soundtrack. Soundtracks are always good. That is one thing that I did know, so that is why I got that one. Mozart. Classical music is always easy to sample, so I kind of got this as a last resort just in case everything else was terrible. Next one's a Barbra Streisand one, The Way We Are. The cover pulled me in for this one. There probably will be something on that as well. And this one, Vicky Carr, It Must Be Him. Now, female vocal albums usually always tend to have something on them. So I've got lucky a lot with female vocalists, and it's probably the same for male vocalists as well. But yeah, there tends to be a lot of different styles on the same album, so you can generally find 1 or 2 samples on these. And what I will say is, out of these 4 records, I think I'm going to have to make this into a series because I got really lucky with all of these. These have got some really good samples on them. I'm going to actually use this Vicky Carr one to start off with. So I might even make this into a little series because I think I could sample every single vinyl. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use this Vicky Carr one. I found a nice sample on here. I went through and listened to them all, obviously, off camera. I can give you a quick snippet of it. That's the actual bit which I'm going to sample. Okay, so you can kind of hear what I've pulled in there. It sounds really, really nice. And with the drums as well. And I'm just doing a tiny little test there, and I can already hear that something is going to happen with this beat. So I'm going to go ahead and chop that sample up using the chop feature. And I might have to cut this out as well because of copyright, so I'll probably just do a time lapse for this bit. Okay, so I've chopped those up, and these are the chops that I've got. Loads to play with there, so I'm going to slap those in a mute group first of all. So let's go across to E. And then the next thing I'm going to do is put an envelope on them. I always tend to put an envelope on my chops just to give it that little bit of extra butter. So that's whole copy, and that's going to do it to the whole mute group because I've just put them in a mute group. And I'm going to do 1 on the attack. It's just going to take that start off. So any clicking or little horrible artifacts at the start, they're going to be cut off. And I'm going to take gate off all of these samples, and you can do that really quickly by holding shift and pressing gate. And that's going to take gate off on the entire bank. That's really, really useful. So let's have a listen. Okay, that's a little bit slow, that actually, so I'm going to speed that up a little bit. I'm going to use copy again and pitch this up to 4. That'll speed it up, you can see, because I'm using the just the default setting, so it's going to speed up the sample as I pitch it up. I actually like that. It's pretty simple, it's pretty straight sort of hip hop, but I kind of like the vibe of that. So I'm going to go ahead and record this. I'm going to do a pattern. So let's set this up. I'm going to do 1, I'm going to do 4 bars, and I'm going to do the hi-hats first. So let's go to the grid of 16. I'm going to do the strength as full. And I'm going to use TR mode for the hi-hats. If you saw my previous video, it's actually a massive time saver. Go and check that out if you want to find out some more time saving tips on the Mark II. So let's go ahead and record, and I'm going to select this hi-hat. And then I'm going to turn the velocity down and go back to 1. Okay, so that's nice and quick, nice and easy to get the hi-hats in. Now I'm going to go back to the normal pattern mode and record the kicks and the snares, and I'm not going to use any quantize for that. So let's go into record again, press 1, remain to switch to real time, strength off, grid off, and let's do record. Okay, kind of a cool pattern. I'm going to copy that straight away so that I can have a spare in reserve, and I'm going to go ahead and try and record some of the chops over the top now, and I'm going to use quantize for this. I always quantize my chops. I don't know why particularly. Basically, it just keeps it nice and in time, so that's a good thing. So let's go record 2, turn the strength to 100, and I'm going to do grid 16. Let's give this a whirl and see what we can come up with. So that's sounding pretty good. Now let's go out of here and start doing some effects. So bus 1, I'm going to do 404 vinyl sim, and I only want this on the chops. So let's listen to what that sounds like with that on. And I'm going to hold remain in MFX so we can have a look at what settings are going on here. I want to put some flutter on it. I love flutter, and frequency is 55. That's fine. So let's see the difference in that. Okay, that sounds kind of cool. It's giving it a much more lo-fi feel, and I'm going to do some isolator on the drums. And I think this is already set up right as well. Let's just have a look. Lows are boosted a little bit, the mids are down, and the highs are up a little bit. We'll see what that sounds like. We can always make some alterations. So let's play that pattern again. Okay, and some of the levels still need working on, but I'm going to do some compression first, and then we can work out what needs changing. So on bus 3 and 4, I've got 303 vinyl sim. I've got just the compressor set to 45. And on bus 4, I've got some EQ as well. That's just going to hopefully pull everything together and, yeah, give it that squeeze, which is going to make it sound a lot nicer. So with those effects on as well, let's see what that sounds like. Okay, that's a little bit too much, so I'm going to go into equalizer and bring up some of these highs. And I don't like loud hi-hats, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that down. Okay, that's sounding good, but there's definitely low end missing. So I'm going to go into my packs. And by the way, those drums are from LOFI Drums Volume 5. All the links to my stuff are in the description below. You can buy my LOFI is Dead hat. It's got SP vids on the back as well. You can buy my custom skin, which I've got on my SP404 Mark II here. And you can get all my packs as well. So let's go in and import a sub sound. I've got some in LOFI Drums Volume 4, and we're going to make sure that the bus isn't affecting that. So we'll go remain and take that off the buses. And the level needs to come down a little bit now. So let's play the pattern again and get this in tune with it. Okay, I think that sounded kind of all right. So I'm going to copy this pattern and try that sub over the top. Okay, that's kind of close. I think with a little bit more work, I could maybe make that sound a little bit better. So I'm going to quickly copy that, and I'm going to use the remain feature to just make a pattern which is just the sample stabs that I've used. So this can be the intro and this can be the ending. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. That was me making a beat from vinyl. Let me know if you'd like me to do a series with those other vinyls, because I do think there's a lot of heat on those. I had to listen through and there's some incredible sounds. So leave a comment below. Do you want to see me make a beat from every single one of those vinyls across 4 different videos? And I'll leave you with this. It's only 2 different sequences. Obviously, I could make more if I had more time and I wasn't making a video, but I hope it gave you some inspiration.